What if he said he was running, Joey?
Well, number one, Democrats would probably elect him right now, considering what they've been left with. I mean, they went back to him the last time and it worked. Listen, I just want to know how much he made for that speech, because we know the Obamas and even Hillary were making 6 figures to go give dumb speeches after the fact. I want to know, is he making like, what, 20 grand? Maybe 25?
How much does he make? He's probably making a ton. And you know what? I would say I'm a better speaker than he is. And that's not even really complimenting myself that much.
I do think that's true. Yes.
Katie, do you think that world leaders, he says they're reaching out to him for advice. Do you think that that's true?
I read this and actually laughed out loud. I was at NATO following the president in the press pool. There is no way that anybody of significance is calling Joe Biden the guy who Russia invaded Ukraine under. Everybody at NATO was trying to get meetings with President Trump. They came away with a 5% commitment after barely paying their dues during Trump's first term. They were excited about America being back on the world stage, not having to, follow the president around, make sure he wasn't getting lost. They were Trump was in the middle. He was front and center. He was running the meetings. They were respecting him. They were happy that America was back. And they were happy that the president saved the alliance, which is exactly what he did. Nobody is calling Joe Biden for advice about world affairs, which completely fell apart on every single level under his watch.
Yeah. Paul, so he said he was very upset about his accomplishments being undone. My question is, do you think it's fair, or how much of it do you think is fair to even call his accomplishments, given what we know now and what for many of us suspected for quite some time about his lack of involvement in his own administration?
Yeah, I mean, if his legacy was really being undone, there would be 12 million fewer people in this country right now, okay? Because that's really his legacy. The fact that we evaporated the southern border and now we have all these problems trying to figure out how to get these people out, including the worst ones. And of course, we're running into a judiciary that's completely adversarial. The other thing is this. I think, you never know here. Joe Biden may actually think he's talking to European leaders, right? He probably thinks he just talked to Winston Churchill or Napoleon or somebody. But the bottom line is, if you are asking us to believe that right now, with Russia at Europe's doorstep, to the point that they cratered to go 5% to Donald Trump, we couldn't even get them to 2%. That crew went to 5%. They're now calling Joe Biden to say, hey, help us out here with Vladimir Putin. I don't think so.
Yeah, Leslie, to me, the biggest part of his legacy, sadly for him, I think is the whole cover-up. I really do think of him not being as involved in his own administration as we were being gaslit over and over again, to being told we were wrong for seeing what we were seeing. What do you make of all of this?
I make of it that Joe Biden is living in all of your heads. I mean, I've moved on. I'm a progressive. I progress. I move forward. Well, no. What do you mean? Wait a minute. First of all, I'm going to help you with math. We have 11 million undocumented people approximately in the country. So how do we have 12 million come in? And the majority of the people that are here that have been here for years. 1, 2.
You believe that 11 million?
2. Come on. I'm sitting at a table with people I believe would consider themselves capitalists, that capitalism is good for the United States, and believe that a person deserves to earn a living. Why shouldn't I wouldn't begrudge Donald Trump for doing a speech. Why do you begrudge a former president, whether he's a great speaker or not? He was invited. He went. He's retired. He's making some money. What's wrong with that?
Because we were lied to and we were gaslit for years and years and years for noticing that this man was not doing well.
There's no administration that's lied to you.
Oh, come on.
You don't need to talk to me about that. I've been quite consistent in my distrust of government. But you look at people who are now gaining a distrust of government who may not have had one before, because the things they were seeing with their own eyes, they were being told weren't true, and were being told they were bad people. Oh, he just has
there'll be no tax on Social Security. When there is tax on Social Security?
We had a man who was not making decisions. There were things being signed with
an
auto pen.
But you asked me, and I said no.
Is
that
recently
is not
coming out and saying she
legacy.
didn't notice anything wrong with Joe Biden. People can't move on because it's still happening.
People can't move on because
absolutely
no, people can't move on because if we're everybody's talking about that he went and he gave this speech. No, he has a right to earn a living.
How that happened, and we don't want to see happen again.
Do we want everybody just to be locked up when they're seniors?
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.